to throw my support to President Trump. The causes were free speech, a war in Ukraine, and the war on our children.
So as we all know by now, RFK has dropped out of the election. And he loves to say, like, the reason why he dropped out is because Trump says he's going to adopt some of his issues, and he even asked him to enlist in his administration.
But now one of the two candidates has adopted these issues as his own, to the point where he has asked to enlist me in his administration. I'm speaking, of course, of Donald Trump.
He dropped out, and he feels like by doing so, it would decrease the Democrats' chance of winning this election.
Many months ago, I promised the American people that I would withdraw from the race if I became a spoiler. In the battleground states, I would likely hand the election over to the Democrats.
And I've already been looking at some Nate Silver polls, and that does not necessarily show that. It shows that at most it will probably give like a 0.7% boost. But before he even dropped out, Kamala Harris was siphoning votes from both him and Trump. So, I mean, he wasn't really a viable person to be in this race at this point anyway. And he is right. He could have potentially been a spoiler in the battleground states, but I'm pretty sure at this point you can't get off the ballot in certain states like Michigan. He's stuck on the ballot. They already got their ballots printed, and there's nothing that's going to change that at this point. And I believe that's the same for a couple more states. We all did see, we already knew kind of that Donald Trump was looking to get RFK to leave the race anyway.
Right? But you and I talked about that a long time ago. And anyway, I would love you to do so. And I think it'll be so good for you and so big for you. And we're going to win. We're going to win. You know, we're way ahead of the guy.
Because when he was going against Joe Biden, it showed that with Joe Biden, yes, he had the higher ability of being a spoiler. And he did mention that Kamala Harris did not elect to speak with him at all, as he was trying to see who would let him get a cabinet position, I guess.
Following my first discussion with President Trump, I tried unsuccessfully to open similar discussions with Vice President Harris. Vice President Harris declined to meet or even to speak with me.
Yes, he wanted a cabinet position for the endorsement, or he was looking to see who would take on some of his policies for the endorsement. And one, she's not supposed to give out a position. You're not supposed to, at least. We know Donald Trump did, but you're not supposed to solicit a position or anything like that in order to get an endorsement. It seems like Republicans think that Democrats are mad that RFK has decided to endorse Trump.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you.
We don't care.
I assure you, sweetheart, none of us are mad. We're not. We're not mad that the guy with the worm in the brain wants to go and be on y'all's side.
And they're reporting that doctors, in a deposition, that RFK said doctors found a worm in his brain that had eaten part of his brain and then died there. I mean, you laugh, but I mean,
Jason,
what might this mean?
Probably means, and one of the things that I tell my clients all the time is try not to go into depositions high. That's usually what I would suggest.
I mean, it's the side with all the weird stuff happening with, J.D. Vance and his cow.
Forever, it turned out so right.
And Donald Trump and his whores.
What?
I did not mean to say that.
Cap.
His mistresses. We're fine with him going over there with y'all. We're completely fine. And it seems like his family feels the same way. Based on their statement, they say, "We want an America filled with hope, bound together by a shared vision of a brighter future, a future defined by individual freedom, economic promise, and national pride. We believe in Harrison Waltz, our brother Bobby's decision to endorse Trump today is a betrayal of the values our father and family hold most dear. It is a sad ending to a sad story." And his brothers and sisters sign on the bottom of that open letter. And then they even went so far as to go on to MSNBC and also let their points be known.
I think if my dad were alive today, the real Robert Kennedy would have detested almost everything Donald Trump represents. His lying, his selfishness, his rage, his cynicism, hatred, racism, fascist sympathies, deliberate misinformation about vaccines, criminal felony convictions. Daddy was the Attorney General of the United States. his rape of E. Jean Carroll, his contempt for the poor and suffering, for ethics, democracy, healing, his cruel sneering at human rights for suffering people in America and around the world. And these are the causes that was loved so passionately by the real Robert Kennedy. So I'm outraged and disgusted by my brother's gaudy and obscene embrace of Donald Trump. And I completely disavow and separate and dissociate myself from Robert Kennedy Jr. in this flagrant and inexplicable effort to desecrate and trample and set fire to my father's memory.
Damn! So, like, no offense, if your family can't even get behind your positions, how you expect strangers to? Like, just be honest about it. And the fact that you have to go to Republicans to receive that love, have you not been seeing what's been going on in the Republican Party? It's not the flex that everybody thinks it is. Let's not act like Donald Trump and RFK Jr. weren't going at each other's necks just a couple months ago. I mean, like, this one X right here. President Trump scammed American workers. He promised to bring back manufacturing, raise wages, fix trade deals, close the carried interest loophole, and help small farmers. But everything President Trump achieved was things the Republican machine wanted. We got a tax cut for Jeff Bezos, deregulation for special interests, and giveaways to agricultural conglomerates, which is true. Republicans love to give away farmland to foreign interests, even though they so against China. And China has owns a lot of land currently in red states. I can completely agree with RFK Jr. on this specific post, because let's not lie and act like he's not a liberal-leaning politician.
RFK Jr. Now, this is the same guy that wants to eliminate all drilling, all fracking. He endorsed Bernie Sanders' climate plan called he called the NRA a, quote, terrorist group. He wants to transform police. He's praised the radical, rabid, anti-Semite and racist Louis Farrakhan. He endorsed, Al Gore, John Kerry, Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, and claimed the 2004 election was stolen. Worst of all, he actually blamed America for Osama bin Laden's terror attacks on a radio show he co-hosted in 2014.
He's liberal-leaning. So adding him onto your campaign, it doesn't really change much, because we all know that Trump is going with the Project 2025 plan, which is extremely conservative. RFK is only giving his endorsement as a backhand slap to Democrats because he feels like we should have let him enter the primary system differently, when we all know that primarying an incumbent is extremely difficult. Sorry. Boo-hoo. Cry. What's funny is even Fox News knows that his endorsement does not, like, Trump wants his endorsement, but that doesn't mean you don't get something for it.
Went to the Trump campaign. I don't know if he's going to get a cabinet position. Knowing Trump, he may dangle something and then never give it, or give him something and, Trump likes the action. That could be interesting to see RFK Jr. in a Trump administration.
Trump has been lying and telling people they get all kinds of stuff for endorsements. But look at even Jesse Waters had to let him know. Yeah, Trump might have dangled something at you. We don't even think you're going to get it. But thank you for the endorsement. Bye. And like, Trump doesn't even know how to get a compliment without it being a backhanded fucking compliment.
We've been a little bit on the opposite side of the equation, but I will say this. He is a brilliant... I still think of him as young. He's not that young. I always call him young, but he's not that young.
Trump is like, he's like that bitter baby mama that everybody got. And then she love to give you like, he's a good daddy. But they be like, that's what Trump reminds me of, y'all. That's why I can't take him seriously. Who can take Trump seriously, y'all? Like, we all know that Trump is not like, he doesn't understand policy. He doesn't understand how to pass a bill. He just knows how to con people. Aren't y'all sick of getting conned at this point?
And don't you want a president that's going to make America healthy again?
Trump's favorite meal is McDonald's. Like, didn't he have the national championship team come up and he got them all a bunch of big fucking mats? That's gonna make America healthy again? I mean, Republicans say things, and I guess in this case, RFK Jr. says things, and like the jokes write themselves. But y'all, that was basically all I had to say about this entire RFK Jr. endorsing Trump bit for right now. Like, to me, it's like, it's so unserious. It's like everything else about Trump's campaign, unfortunately. It's extremely unserious. And I really wish people would, like, open their eyes and realize how unserious Trump is. He's a useful idiot for the right. That is literally all he can provide. Being a useful idiot for the right. And RFK has started drinking the lemonade because Democrats said that you couldn't primary a sitting president. I'm sorry, but it's politics. Alright, y'all, but that's basically it for today. I hope y'all enjoyed this content. If y'all want to hear something else or have other topics or rallies or anything like that y'all want me to cover, just cultural stuff, because I do love to get into, you know, the YSL trial and everything like that, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this video. And thank y'all so much for watching this for today. Thank y'all.